Hey everyone, welcome back to Saltwater Reef channel. This is Jim. Wanted to kind of talk about where we are on the tank today. I've got some things to tell you. So have a little secret that it's finally time I reveal. And you know, everybody doesn't like when they have little secrets, but my secret is that I'm a feeder. I love feeding my fish. I have a nice chair sitting right here that's in front of the fish, and my fish get fed not big meals, but about 5 to 6 times a day. And in doing that, that does cause some problems. Most people I know feed maybe a little bit before they go to work and then a little bit after they get home, and that's about it. But my fish, they always are in front of the tank looking at me every time I walk back and forth, and I have to give it up. I am a sucker for the fish to feed them, so I do. Which, in one point, that's not a problem, but it does cause high nitrate and phosphate problems. All the way extra waste and everything builds up in the tank, and I ran into that about a month and a half ago. One of the things I had was a test kit that was out of date and wasn't reading true, which is a problem. I never really test for nitrates, but I started to test it, and that's where I found the problem, because I couldn't figure out what was going on. What I ended up seeing was all my fish seemed like they were very sluggish. They just floated around the tank and really weren't actively hunting, pecking at rocks and doing things like that. And so if you run into that problem, you might want to check it out. My nitrates were through the roof, probably in the realm of about 75 parts per million. And that was just crazy. So the next thing was to figure out how to get it reduced. I already had been running the biopellet reactor. That was not a problem. I mean, that was helping, but wasn't really fully helping. So with some research, I quickly added the algae reactor that you might see on the sump video, and that did help some, but didn't help as much. What I ended up doing is I started sugar dosing, and oh my God, that was the thing. It didn't happen overnight, but I'm now down. I sugar dose about every 2 to 3 days. I put in 3 tablespoons of sugar into this tank, and my nitrates are now down to about somewhere between 5 and 8. I know it's still a little bit high. This is a big tank. I'm still working on it. We're going to try to keep pushing them down farther by adding a bigger refugium when I find a tank for it and stuff like that. But the fish are doing well again. They're back to actively looking for food and without any trouble. They're happy again. They're not stressed out. I didn't see anybody with any kinds of fungal problems or ick or anything that shows that they're not happy. Loss of fish is down. So if you run into nitrate problems, you might want to check or run into fish that are kind of acting like they might be drunk or not actively swimming around. You might want to check the nitrates, because that's what it ended up being for me. I'm not saying that's the only thing, but I will add nitrates to my overall checking every week. I do water tests on this tank every week. Calcium, alkalinity, magnesium, phosphates, and now nitrates every week for this tank. So I know most people want to see kind of where the tank sits. So I will show you where we are now. We just started adding coral back to the tank. So they're starting with little frags, and we'll see how it goes in the future. But I'll show you kind of some video of the tank and let you see how how it's doing. Okay, so here's the tank. Like I said, we're just starting to add coral, so you'll see little frags here and there. We just added a torch coral up here. Blowing around all the different fish. Everybody still likes the cave. Now you got to remember, these caves are pretty good size open. This piece alone is 3 feet or a little over 3 feet long. The caves are big, but you got to remember when I get coral and the coral all grows around the structures, the openings will be much smaller for the fish to go in. And there are some big fish in here. That's a gem tang, a blonde naso, a purple tang. There's a queen angel in here. There's going to be Moorish idols in here, and a couple other big fish. So there's the queen angel and a gold flaked angel. I know there's a regal angel scheduled for it. So this rock is going to have GSP growing on it, star polyps, just because I think it'll be kind of cool to have it waving. There's a diamond goby that lives right underneath there. The fish like to pull up. There's a cleaner shrimp right here, and this is the cleaner shrimp station right here. They swim up underneath the crack right there, and the cleaner shrimps start to clean them. See, the fish are already looking for more food, and they've already been fed twice today. This structure is also, right here, is about 3 feet too. And this is a smaller structure right here. Again, a lot of big caves because of the big fish that will be in here in the future. The tank is 34 inches wide, so plenty of room for corals to grow on. The only problem about having a peninsula tank is I have windows on both sides across the living room and in my office. That makes filming in here a little bit difficult. So I need to put curtains up so you can do better filming for you. But that's where we are. Again, we're lighting as I did the lighting myself, 3 custom panels suspended over the tank. Basically using, I don't have reds on because the white lights produce enough red. I matched them with some T5 bulbs to give us some good color. And again, I am running 2 different controllers, the new Apex and the old Apex. I have to run the old Apex because the new Apex does not have the moon schedule on it, so the LED lights are being run off for the blue, purple, and the moon lights are being run off of the old Apex. These are VDM modules over here with the LDD drivers for each one. All this board will be set up underneath the tank when it's all said and done. I'm still working on a couple of last things. And an XM module to run the MP40 up here. And I do have a there's another PM module for the salinity, and then there will be a leak detection module added on. So, but that's how the board that runs all the things. So basically each controller is on a separate circuit being supported by a UPS that is attached to each one of the power bars that are underneath the tank. So there's 2 UPSs, one for the A controller and one for the B controller. So if we do lose power, it doesn't spike and ruin controllers, because I've lost multiple controllers already, 3 of them in about 1 year, due to spikes in the power outages. But that's where we are sitting with the tank. There'll be more corals added all along. I'm going to be at MACNA, so if you happen to see me, stop by and say hey. Trying to pick up some nice corals, other corals for this tank for the future. So, but if you have any questions about the tank or you want me to answer, feel free to ask. And I will try to answer them the best I can. I'm not super scientific, but I try to make it simple and easy for everybody to understand. There's not a lot of information out there about people doing 300 plus tanks, so the amount of equipment and what you need to do it is kind of hard to find. Oh, by the way, just want to give a shout out that I am running tops by Acrylic, so I think every tank needs a top on it. So just so you can see, Acrylic built me tops for this tank. They are, each side has a compartment to where I can get in, and it's meshed down the middle. Now we had to put a ridge on each side because of the distance between the 2 ends is 38 inches each, and it was bowing in the middle. So they did a really great job. It was well worth the money. If you need a top, I would highly recommend them. They were really good. Each top is almost different, and they built me 3 different tops for this tank to allow me to keep all my fish in and safe. So real shout out to them about building really great tops in CNC machining them. And the mesh is replaceable if you ever need to replace the mesh in the future. So great job for those guys. Definitely look at them if you're wanting a top for your tank. They're one of the few people that actually, when you need something custom, they were really nice and helped me out and worked with me on it. So if you have any questions, like I said, give me a shout. Please like and subscribe to the channel, and I will give you another update and some later. Thanks. Bye-bye.